You know it. You tell the story. You tell the whole damn world this is Bear territory.
There you
go.
Go
Bingo.
Bears.
Bingo.
Did you know a freshman on the Cal women's swimming and diving team has already won both a national championship and an Olympic medal? And that she loves being a golden bear? Well, today you're going to learn all about her. Claire Weinstein is on track to be the next big-time Cal women's swimmer. Unless you're a swim fan, you may not recognize her name just yet, but believe me when I tell you, it's only a matter of time before she's a household name. Welcome to Tell the Whole Damn World. It's Monday, April 6th, 2026. I hope all of you who celebrate had a wonderful Easter. And it's another great day to be a bear. I'm your host, Reza Serafinijad. We appreciate you tuning in. We're the podcast that celebrates all things Cal. We produce on-camera interviews with the prominent people who are passionate about our university and our sports teams. If you're unabashedly and unapologetically all about Cal, you've found the right place. We hope to put a smile on your face and help you come away feeling good about your connection to the greatest university on the planet. If you like what we're doing here with the podcast, please do us a favor and like and subscribe. That helps us more than you know. And please spread the word by telling the whole damn world about us. I know you're not here to hear me talk, so without further ado, let me pull in a mod, and together we'll get to know Claire Weinstein, who just helped the Cal women's swimming and diving team place fourth at the NCAA championships, the highest finish for the Golden Bears since 2019. We're going to lead into our interview with a clip of Claire's national championship performance at the NCAA championships.
And you can't forget about the dark horse, who we forgot about in the mile, and that's Claire Weinstein.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here you go, Rowdy. You're in the last 150.
Last 150, and again, Weinstein is not going away. She is not going away. You know, she's going to make Jansen, she's going to make Cox and Dobson earn it. No question about it. Both of them are right there. There's Weinstein up toward the top. 100 yards left to go.
And Weinstein leads by almost a half second at the 400.
Yeah, but that half second doesn't mean much to Cox. I mean, believe me, Weinstein's got the most experience. She's the only Olympian in this group, at least for the United States. So she knows what to do here the last 50 or last 100.
Wow.
And she's looking great right now. Look at that 50.
The Cal side going crazy for Weinstein. Here we are, the last 50. Can Weinstein pull off a stunner?
She is 0.7 of a second ahead. Cox is going to have to, I don't think she can do it. I think Weinstein is going to end up doing this.
The last turn. Claire Weinstein, 19 years old, a freshman, and she is going to come home with a shocker. She wins the 500 free. Cox is second. Dobson is third. Dave Durden and the Cal Go Blue going crazy.
Oh, my goodness. What a race. You know, Claire Weinstein loves Spider-Man. She's got a Spider-Man lunchbox over there in the stands with her. And Spider-Man came through there. She was crawling on top of the water. What a race. What a swim. And what a gutsy swim by Weinstein. And that's just all guts right there.
Wire to wire.
Wire to wire indeed, Ted. And you know, she knew Cox was going to come on at the end. But at the end, it was a second and a half. Her last 100 was, I mean, she was shot out of a cannon the last 100. Unbelievable swim by Weinstein.
Natalie Coughlin, Missy Franklin, Mary T. Meager, Dana Vollmer. That's just a few of the legendary swimmers from Cal who are world-renowned as some of the greatest competitive swimmers in the history of the sport. To say there is a special legacy of outstanding women swimmers at Cal would be an understatement. And today we are honored to welcome to the show a freshman on the Cal women's swimming and diving team who has already won a national championship and an Olympic medal and appears destined to be the next in a long line of fantastic Cal women's swimmers. Simply stated, Claire Weinstein is an unbelievably talented swimmer. I'm not trying to make our audience feel old, but in 2021, at the age of 13, she qualified for her first Olympic trials. She won the gold medal in the 2022 World Championships in the 4x200 meter freestyle relay, and she's an Olympic medalist who won the silver medal in the 800-yard freestyle relay for Team USA in the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Her split of 1 minute, 54.88 seconds to lead off the team was the fastest on the team and the fourth fastest freestyle in the 200 meters by an American woman in history.
Come on now.
And most recently, at the NCAA Championships in Atlanta, Georgia, Claire broke the school record and won the national championship in the 500-yard freestyle. That's the team's first individual title since 2019. She also took second place in the 1,650-yard freestyle and third in the 800 free relay. In total, she's earned 5 first-team All-America honors at the championships. Like I've been trying to say, Claire is pretty darn special. We couldn't be more humbled and excited to have Claire Weinstein with us on the show today. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you making the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely fantastic to have you with us. Look, the weather's great in Berkeley. A lot of folks are running around to beaches and jumping in pools. But look here, we have a beast in our midst today. I mean, I'm telling you, look, I'm excited. Look, when the best I could do around swimming, and I'm not really a swimmer. My lady swims a lot. But me, the best I could do was get to the YMCA when I was a kid and get my dolphin pin and my shark pin. That was once up and back was a dolphin, 4 times you were a shark, and I'm good. Now I'm just lounging around the pool while you are killing the game in the pool.
Thank
And
you.
it is amazing and so proud to be a bear. Look, competitive swimming. How did you get into competitive swimming? And what age did you start? I know Reza's mentioned it, but the people want to know. Tell me how you got there, how you got here.
Yeah, so swimming wasn't really like something that ran in the family. Like my parents, they weren't really swimmers or anything, but when I lived in New York, my family belonged to this like summer club, and one of the years my parents decided like to sign us up for the swim team, my older brother and I, and we loved it. And after that summer, we decided that we wanted to swim year round, so we joined a club team and it kind of just took off from there. We both loved it, and now like my siblings and I, we all swim. But that's kind of really how I got into it. I say I started competitively swimming at like 6 years old, and yeah, it kind of it all started there. And when I obviously like progressed on my club team and ended up moving to Las Vegas to train when I was 14 years old. So that's why I kind of moved to the West Coast there. But yeah, it's been a long ride.
So tell me, did it just shock your parents the love you had for swimming, or did they just sort of like, okay, we'll take you, and just jumped on board? Tell me that sort of evolution before we go to the next question.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were kind of like learning the process with me, and I think it was probably like a blessing in disguise that they weren't swimmers and they didn't really know like exactly
Yeah,
how things went or like the process or anything. Because sometimes you have a parent that like did the sport that like you're in, and they get like a little obsessed and kind of like they push you a little too hard. But my parents
yeah.
were never like that. They were just supportive, and whatever I needed, they were willing to provide and help me. And I think they just loved that when I was younger, at least the sport gave me so many friends and
Mm-hmm.
just like an amazing community to like be involved with. So I think that was one of the main like advantages, I guess, or like things that I got out of swimming when I was younger. And obviously as I've progressed, I now have like other things that I could take out of it other than just like the social aspect. But I think my love for swimming was definitely something that my parents loved to see, and they were willing to do anything for me because I was passionate about it and I wanted to pursue it.
That's a great story, a great intro to a story. Look, you have traveled a lot of places in a very short time through this sport, through the relationships you built. What led you to come to the Golden State, the Bay, to Cal?
Yeah, I mean, so when I was a junior in high school, I started going through the recruiting process in the fall, which was definitely pretty overwhelming. You have like every school in the country reaching out to you, and you're trying to manage that and getting back into training. And it was also Olympic year, so I was training for that and kind of had that
Mm,
pressure on myself.
mm,
But I think what really drew me to Cal was the amazing staff that they have here. You could just tell how collaborative everybody is and how much they really are like invested in your success and the things that will make you successful. And I thought that was really special. And like you go to some other schools and like the coaches, they'll feed you all this information, make you promises, and you can kind of like sort through the exaggeration or the lies a little bit. But
mhm,
I
mhm.
think when I came on my trip to Cal and I met all the coaches, I just loved how authentic they were. And obviously like I loved campus and everything. I thought it was really cute how most of the like shops are like family owned and like small
Yeah,
businesses.
yeah,
And yeah, so I guess like just like the campus and the coaches and the program were really what drew me here.
yeah. You can't make that up. Thank you. That's great stuff.
Well, we were fortunate enough to have your coach, Coach Durden, on the show last year. And he'd mentioned, like the training regimen that all the different swimmers go through. And it sounded like a lot of work. Can you walk us through what your training routine looks like on a daily basis or weekly basis?
Yeah, so we are definitely kept busy on the swim team. So we have I think it's 10 swim practices a week and like 6 either lift or like cardio sessions. So Monday we have a morning swim practice, and then in the afternoon we have a dry land practice and then another swim practice in the afternoon. And dry land is basically like body weight and cardio. And then Tuesday, we just have one swim practice in the morning, followed by a gym session lift. And then basically Wednesday, you repeat what you did on Monday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have 2 swim practices and a dry land session. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we have just the one swim and the weight session. And then Saturday is actually the same as Tuesday and Thursday. It's just like a little bit later in the day because it's a Saturday. We have a swim and then a lift afterwards. So that's what a typical week looks like. And it gets kind of hard to juggle that with school because you kind of have to like weave your classes in and find ways to study and get your schoolwork done. But it's definitely worth it.
Well, that's what I could imagine is just, how busy it keeps you. But exactly how early in the morning are we talking about when your training kind of starts off?
Yeah, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have to be at the pool at about 6 a.m. And then Tuesday, Thursday, it's a little bit later. Usually it starts at like 8 a.m. And then Saturday it's like around 9. So, you gotta wake up early pretty much every day, but
Right.
like at least you get to sleep in a little bit more on some of the other days.
Yeah, I would not make it as a competitive swimmer. I mean, Ahmad knows I like to get up around
No,
8,
right.
take my time.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
definitely makes the Sunday sleeping in like amazing at the end of the
I
week.
know that's right. Hey, I'm a 4:45 a.m. with the alarm or not on. I just like, "Uh?" Yeah, but then the next step is not getting to the pool or working out. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so hats off to you for real.
Well, I guess one thing that I kind of like to ask a lot of our student athletes in all the different respective sports, can you tell us really what would be the thing that maybe people don't realize that you would say is the hardest part of competitive swimming?
Yeah, honestly, I would say coming to college, the academics were the thing that really was the hardest adjustment for me because when I moved to Vegas when I was 14, I was online all 4 years of high school. Like my school was all online, and it was still like a rigorous program. Like I had schoolwork to do, but I think I underestimated the energy that it takes like to walk to class, to sit in class, to be present in class, to take notes. And it was definitely a really big adjustment first semester learning how to manage my time and do the things that I need to do and set aside specific chunks for like different subjects and like work that I needed to do, and then also fitting in recovery at that point. So I think that was my biggest adjustment coming to college. You might get a different answer out of someone that was like in person in high school, but I think I would say that was the hardest thing for me to adjust to when I came to Cal.
Sure. I guess when I think about the sport itself and you're lined up and you're about to jump in the water, the mental side of things, and you don't want to like jump too early, right? How does that all play into it? What goes through your mind when you're up there and about to launch yourself into the water? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I'm racing, there's not too much going through my mind when I'm about to dive in the water. I kind of just like go blank before my races and just hit like muscle memory while I'm swimming. But I think like when I'm walking out for my races, I just think about like staying calm and controlling my breathing because it's really easy to get super nervous and like lose your breath before you swim. And obviously, you want to keep as much oxygen as you can when you're about to dive into a pool and be like restricted from oxygen. So I guess I just like focus on like my breathing techniques and like keeping it steady and everything like before my races.
I can imagine. And I mean, thinking about what you just recently accomplished in Atlanta, Georgia, winning the national championship as a freshman in the 500-yard freestyle. How did you approach the NCAA championships mentally, and what was going through your mind when you won the national championship?
Yeah, I mean, I have so much international experience with having like surrounding pressure and stuff like that, but honestly, NCAA's was such a different feeling because you don't really have just the pressure of yourself that you want to swim fast. It's also like you want to swim fast for the team and you want to score points for
Yeah.
the team and like you want to do your part in this process to like move towards like a cohesive goal together. And I think that it was definitely like a good different type of pressure because I think while I was swimming, whenever it got like painful, I was like, I have to do this. Like I want this for my team. Like I want this for all of us. It's not just for myself. And I think that really honestly like pushed me harder in my races and especially in like my last 100 of the 500 when I was out in front and I was hurting really badly. I was just like, I want to do this for the team. I want to do this for all of us. And yeah, so that's kind of what was going through my mind at that point.
It's a lot happening at one time. As a former student athlete playing football, I can think about the games, but then there are all the when I'm not on the field moments, right? The conversations you have with your teammates, the conversations you have with the coaches. Um, I'm old enough that we didn't have cell phones back then. And so, picking up the phone from the hotel and calling my mom or calling my dad and just just checking in to be grounded. But then the other part of the reality was being a student athlete. And you said in the beginning, and I'm wondering how this impacted your discipline for growing into and evolving as the student athlete that you're today. What are you enjoying the most about being a student athlete at Cal? And what are some of the challenges? Because I think for me, folks don't always, they see us, they ask us questions, but they don't get to know the real us that, oh, I do cry, I do hurt, I do sometimes don't want to get up. But what are you experiencing that you're enjoying as a student athlete? And what are some of the challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I think an amazing thing for me at Cal is how like how much more social it's allowed me to be. Just like connecting with other student athletes and like sharing
Mhm.
our stories and it's just like super interesting hearing where other people come from. Like I'm friends with some of the other like girls on the water polo team and like other sports, and it's just like super interesting learning about the other sports because I don't really follow any any other sports other than swimming. I'm kind of just like obsessed with swimming, and coming to college, it's made me a lot more interested in like learning about those other sports and learning like how they work, and just like going to those games and supporting the other people or the other student athletes at Cal is just
Sure.
super special.
Some of the challenges I found was not so much for me, but for others, moving past being in that sports world and then really engaging what it meant like to be a student on campus, like really enjoying the student moments. I remember for myself being a freshman that became a starter, I would sit in classes and really kind of be tickled a lot about no one was knowing that I was on the football team. Like sitting next to people and just being that student and hearing people talk about, "Oh, did you see so and so won?" Or "Oh, we're getting ready to be against Stanford," and being like, "Yeah, like I'm gonna be that person." Or just being in the library at times, or just walking down Telegraph and being in the moment was so refreshing. And then walking into, in your case, to the swim meet, the competition, or walking to the stadium, and then you're like, oh, it's a different world. So I found that to be exciting yet challenging at times. I wanted to embrace, but what would your experience or have been your experiences?
Yeah, I honestly can relate to that a lot. I took a student athlete like reflection course the first semester that they recommend a lot of freshman student athletes take.
Hmm.
And you basically just discuss like who you are as a person outside of your sport. And I think honestly, like it was kind of hard for me to like think about that and grapple with that because when I think of my swimming career, like I want it to like go beyond college. And I think like trying to figure out what I want to do as a person, just like as a career, like beyond college is like it was hard for me to think about, but I think in the end it helped a lot with like the mental side, like balancing both and
Yeah.
just like being a little less hard on myself when I like get like a lower grade or like I didn't have time to study for something or stuff like that because I mean we're juggling a lot, we're juggling a lot more than I think the average student on campus,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we're trying our best. And if you're trying your best, that's honestly like I've learned that it will be good enough. And there's so many resources, so much help that you could have on campus as a student athlete, which I think is super helpful. But I thought again, another challenge that I've kind of dealt with is like traveling as a student athlete because you can't really control the schedule that you have when you're going to be off
Hmm. Hmm.
campus or like in a different state, and sometimes like getting into contact with the teachers if you're going to be gone for like a midterm or like a test or something is really hard and stressful. So I think like I'd say that is probably one of the hardest things for me, just like the stress of like knowing you're going to be gone for something and like trying to coordinate how to like fix it or how to like compensate for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's keeping it very real. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine, I mean, you coming all the way from New York out here, and it certainly sounds like you've known about the Cal swimming and diving program for a long time. But now that you're here and you're just about to wrap up the end of your freshman year as a student, what would you say makes Cal such a special place to you?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's probably just like the tight-knit like group that we've built here. I mean, I can say so many amazing things about like how far the women's swim team has come this year and how we've really come together and bonded with each other, but I
Hmm.
honestly feel that about every single person on campus. Like we all like being a Cal Bear is such like a different feeling that I've never had before. Like I just feel like connected like spiritually to like the other student athletes on campus. I just want all of them to do good. And yeah, I think that that's something that's like really special at Cal is just like how tight knit the community is.
That is awesome. I mean, you are a golden bear through and through. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we are extremely biased. to what it means to be a golden bear. And I really can relate to, and Reza can too, that this is a special place. I mean, if you even do that in that reflection course, at some point you have that out of body experience. And when you hear people talking about Cal, or you're just in the middle of it and looking around, you're like, this is real. And it has an impact that Rez and I can say, so much so that we're in this podcast phase, that we are opening the door for folks like yourself to tell the whole damn world what it's like in real time. In real time. And we have folks who've been here prior to us as well. I'll share with you one of the things that was probably the most exciting thing for me is my relationship to swimming, is that I was the academic advisor for student athletes from 1984 to 1986. And I had Matt Bionde and Mary T was my student. And having them come back after the Olympics and after the World Championships, NCAA, you being in that space with us right now is like up here for me on that list. It's very
Oh,
special, and looking forward to seeing great things. Now, we ask our student athletes, our coaches, our partners, our stakeholders in this great University of California at Berkeley world, think about a time, and it's just been a moment, but when you decided when you were being recruited, when you said yes to coming to Cal, um, when you started looking at Cal from a different perspective, or even now that you've gone through these very incredible triumphant moments, what would you say, and I'm sure there's many, has been the time when you can say, this time I'm going through right now, and you're in it, is my bear territory moment. Name us a time or a place that's been special to you.
yeah, I mean, that's a hard one. I think it
You're not the only one. Yeah. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many, like, amazing moments with my team this year, but I think at nationals this year, we were ranked, like, 6th by a lot, like, going to the meet, like, no one really thought we were going to get a trophy or place or anything, and, like, we thought it was possible, obviously, we had confidence in ourselves, but after the first night, our relay had gotten DQ'd, which it basically took us out of, like, the team race the rest of the
Mhm.
meet, and on the last night, we, like, racked up finalists in the morning, and we were like, "If we basically swim perfectly tonight, we have a chance to get a team trophy, to move up from 6th to 4th," on the last night, and it came down to the very last relay. We were seeded 7th out of the 8 teams, and we needed to get 4th or higher or have a 4-team gap. This is, like, kinda complicated, but a 4-place gap between us and Tennessee, who was sitting in 4th
Mhm.
at the time, and we moved up, like, past the relays that were seated ahead of us who had faster times than us, and ended up getting 4th, and since Tennessee touched 8th in that heat, we beat them out for the team trophy by 1 point, and our whole team just came running over to us, and we were all just celebrating there, and it was
Yeah.
like we won the Olympics, like, it was, like,
Yeah.
the best moment ever, everybody was just screaming happy, and it's just, like, the 4th place trophy means so much more to us than like, it meant so much more to me than even the individual win because it
Sure.
was something that we did as a group, and it was something that, like, other people, like, were doubting and didn't think that we were gonna be able to do, and so that was probably my bear territory moment.
Well, as we say here, that's bear territory, baby. All day, every day. That
Mhm.
is boom. Put that in a bottle, put that on the shelf, and show the world and tell the world that's bear territory. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Claire, what can I say? We are just super impressed by you, and we wish you much success and can't wait to see what the future holds for you. You are just such an inspiration. And with you as part of the team, the future of the Cal women's swimming and diving team couldn't be much brighter.
Yeah.
And to echo something I said in our last episode with Tanya and Allie, I want to encourage you to take full advantage of all your opportunities here. As you know, Cal is a very special place, and wherever you go in life, you're always going to be a golden bear. You may be walking down the street someday in some faraway place, and someone's going to
Yeah.
yell out, "Go
Go
Bears!"
Bears.
Yep. And you'll immediately feel connected, and that
Yeah.
feeling's going to last you a lifetime. But hey, we can't thank you enough for spending some time with us today. And thank you to all of you out there for tuning in. We appreciate you listening and watching. And remember, if you live in Richmond, please give your vote to my co-host, Ahmad Anderson, to be the next mayor of Richmond.
Thank
There's
you,
no
Red.
question he will do wonders for the city of pride and purpose. This podcast is entirely a labor of love and a reflection of how much we love our university. Please
Yes.
help grow this podcast by telling the whole damn world about us. Just tell your friends to go to tellthewholedamnworld.com. You can always go to our YouTube channel to watch any of our previous episodes. We celebrate all things Cal and the prominent people who are passionate about the University of California. Do you feel Cal is the center of the universe? Do you bleed blue and gold? We want you to tell the whole damn world about it. Go Bears!
Go
Go
Bears!
Bears.
You know